Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming. Here we are back in Watch Dogs Legion. We're in the very corner of North East London as far as the game's concerned, which is kind of King's Crossy area for logistics. Anyway, what's the topic of today's video? Well, you'll be shocked to know, or probably not, that it's about woke, feminist, activists and gaming, which seems to be the topic of all gaming related news at the moment, and more on Avowed, which has drawn more attention to itself, as if it already couldn't have done enough to try and destroy its credibility. The artistic director of Obsidian Games has now been caught out saying that they actually discriminate against white people and only want to hire black people or non-white people in their studio. I think that probably means men, because I'm sure they'd hire white women, because women are okay, it doesn't matter what colour, it's just white men. And firstly, it's just amazing that anyone would have that view. Anyone that thinks about diversity, which I said, diversity is not really what it is, it's more about reverse sexism and racism, but you would have that view. And secondly, it's scary that they would even utter those words anywhere anyone could hear them. But obviously he thinks he can say anything he wants, or if he doesn't really think about what he's saying, which is obvious kind of from what he tried to do with Elon Musk, as I said in the previous video. But one of the co-founders of Obsidian Entertainment has said on record that anyone who feels that they've been discriminated against, who's gone for a job there, should sue them. And I agree. If you're someone white, a white guy who's gone for an interview there and not got the job, and you think it's because you're a white guy, you should sue them, because racism and discrimination are racism and discrimination regardless of what colour or sex you are. They're still the same. They're still racist and discrimination. So yes, they should sue them, but it's a pretty sad state of affairs. I mean, not just with Avowed. I mean, Avowed's taken over from Dragon Age. Avowed God is the new mess, and the woke mess, and the backlash from the company trying to cover up what they've done and make everyone feel like they are racist or sexist for not liking it, etc., etc. But it's been a long cycle of this. We've had Star Wars Outlaws, we've had Concord, we've had Suicide Squad. We can go through the woke, awful mess of games we've had, and I've just named a few, Dustborn, we could keep going. And the worst thing is that almost every game due to come out, or that's even been planned now, in advance, it's got some woke tag, or we're thinking, is it going to be bad, is it going to be terrible? GTA, Mass Effect, the new Mass Effect game, the new Assassin's Creed game. We already know what's wrong with the new Assassin's Creed game. So it's really sad that not only are games in such a mess, but all the main AAA games that are coming out in the West in the future have all got that tag of there's going to be something bad. Most of them are made by studios that have already made awful games, woke games, Ubisoft, BioWare, so we're not expecting anything good, and that's terrible. But the worst thing is, and I think this is the worst thing, if the games were very bad or woke, and they'd all been made, because they all will have already been made and developed, then that's what it is. They were made in a time where wokeism was in the studio. They can't change that now. But what's really terrible with BioWare, Ubisoft, Obsidian now, is that the people there obviously still believe in that culture, even learning from what's happened to Sweet Baby, with what's happened with all these games. They still believe in that culture, and that's the scary part, because going forward, the next game they start making, or any game that they're developing now, will also have the same theme. They'll be as bad and as woke, because these people haven't learned, and despite all the games that are destroyed, all the companies that are losing money, they haven't learned a thing, obviously, because they still try to defend the rubbish they make, and they still make statements like Matt Hansen has done. So it's a very bad situation. It's only a situation that's really, really bad in gaming, because in most other industries it's not this bad, and even with movies and series, which we've seen with Disney and stuff, they've kind of retracted and cancelled the series that got really bad backlash, and they've tried to hide things like the new Snow White movie and stick it away where no one can find it, because they know that's going to be bad. So even they've kind of learned. But gaming, these studios haven't learnt, the people in them haven't learnt, and that's because everyone in them is a woke activist virtually now. They've hired a few who then hired more, and either the real developers and the people that made the great games of the past have gone, or the ones that are left are too scared to say anything because they'll be called a racist or a sexist, which is terrible. Anyway, thanks for watching Guess Again Gaming. Until next time, take care for now.